4, 3.
Well, Poppy, one of the sports we don't hear a lot about here in Australia, of course, is cyclocross, but we do have one of the best in the world, and she's come and given us a bit of time.
Best in the world.
Best in the world. Nat Redman joins us. Nat, how are you?
Good, how are you going?
Very good. Now, you're heading off fairly soon to Belgium, just for 5 months.
Yes.
Oh, just for 5 months, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said at work when I asked for that leave, just for 5 months.
Really? When you talk about that, so you've got to finance a lot of it yourself.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. You and your partner are heading overseas for 5 months. How was work about that?
Well, she doesn't work there anymore.
No, I was saying they were good.
Yeah, fortunately they're letting me take unpaid leave, and I saved up as much annual leave as I could, and then savings over the last couple of years.
Okay, why Belgium?
Belgium is the home of cyclocross. It's their national sport. Races over there get... the world champs have over 70,000 people come and watch. It's just totally on another level. Yeah.
Is there a chance financially for you to benefit from being there, or is it more just the competition for you?
Riders get start money, so appearance fees, and also prize money. So here we pay to race, over there you get paid to race.
All right, we want to do a quick fire just so the viewers can get an idea of what cyclocross is all about. So yes, no answers, or whatever you like, okay. Your bike, carbon fibre or alloy?
Carbon, yes.
Why? Why carbon?
Lighter, stiffer.
All right. Now, normal cost, I looked this up, the normal cost of a fibre bike is about $5,199 if I go into the shop. Would yours be roughly around that?
Yes, top of the range bike, cyclocross bikes. But if you wanted to do the sport, my first bike was $1,500. So.
Yeah. Oh, only $1,500.
Only $1,500 for the first one.
Well, let me tell you, my first bike, which was a dragster, I think was $29. So, I mean, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah, and you won't be competing.
No.
How many bikes do you have?
I have 2 cross bikes and a road bike.
Okay, all right.
What do you do for a job?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, Rob's Banks. Yeah. And that's why she's leaving for 5 months. Yeah. Helmets, gloves, uniforms, glasses. Do you have to wear glasses on the cross?
You don't have to. I find they get a bit muddy, so I don't wear them.
All right, what would that kit cost you, roughly?
Chuck it down for $1,000, I reckon.
Oh, probably a bit more than that.
All right, okay, a couple of grand. All right. Now, the courses, they vary, but normally 2 to 2.5 kilometres.
Yep, so it's a circuit. During a race, you do between 5 and 8 laps. It takes about 45 minutes for the women and an hour for the men, and it's just whoever crosses the line first. So I think because the circuits are so short, that makes it really good for spectators.
All right, now the courses when you talk about, they can be on steep inclines, they can be on dirt, they can be on timber, they can be on pavement, they can be on road, they can pretty much be on whatever they decide to set them up on.
Yeah, last year the World Champs, I wasn't over for it because I went 2 years ago, but they were in Luxembourg and the course was icy because it had snowed, so you can ride on anything. All
right, now you can get off your bike, of course, if there's obstacles, and sometimes you have to, and you have to carry your bike.
Yep, so one of the main features is barriers. So they'll have 2 barriers set up, about 40 centimetres, you have to hop over those. Some riders actually hop their bikes over them as well, rather than hopping off. There's also stairs. I did a race once which had a staircase of 40 steps every lap. So you have to carry your bike up that.
Really? What's the toughest course you've done?
2 years ago when I went over to Belgium, and just having the whole experience and the foreign language and everything was pretty overwhelming. And the second race I did was called Namur, and it had these crazy, just come to the top of a hill and just drop off the edge basically.
Wow, really?
And just and totally slick and mud, and very easy to crash on, and that was pretty overwhelming.
Well, you don't look like you've got any scars, no broken bones. What's been the worst injury?
Bank balance.
I've seen other people.
Yeah, bank balance is the worst injury, yeah.
I've seen other people get injured. Fortunately, I do a bit of gym and a bit,
so you're
a bit robust.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
A few bruises.
You've only been at it a couple of years, so you come from road and track. What drew you to cyclocross?
I love road racing. I spent a bit of time off the bike, and unfortunately, sometimes when you're back on the road bike and you're feeling a bit unfit, it's pretty unmotivating. Yeah. And I just found, because cyclocross isn't just about fitness, when I was just coming into the sport, you get the skills part as well. So there's so much more to learn. I just loved learning about a new sport. I think also it's on the whole race. Sometimes on a road race where you're going 100 Ks, you know, you can fall asleep in a bunch and get to the line and do your thing at the end. And I just love that you have to be totally focused and concentrating for the entire race.
I've got to tell you, from what you've told me, because I knew nothing about the sport at all, it sounds a hell of a lot more entertaining from a spectator's point of view than, I mean, the Tour Down Under gets so much recognition, great event, well executed. But I would have thought, it would be a great opportunity for Adelaide to offer something like this on one day and attract, participants from all over the world to come to Adelaide. I think that would be a great.
Absolutely.
Do they work or is it a competitive? They compete against each other, or do they work with each other?
Well, in Europe, a lot of the riders who race cyclocross over the winter race road in the summer because they're on a different season.
Yeah.
And we, like in Adelaide, we're one of the best places for cyclocross because we run the races in the parklands. So it's just in the city. It's so easy for spectators.
I would have thought it would be a perfect little, adjunct to the Tour Down Under to have that for spectators as well, especially, when we have those city events, when we've got, 100,000 people in the city.
Would be great.
We should organise that. We could make some money out of it.
Well, you get on to that. Okay, we'll talk to Nat. Well, Nat's got plenty until about 5 months' time.
That's right.
You just finished second in the Australian cyclocross, lost to a New Zealand. I hate those Kiwis.
No, I lost to Australian.
Lost to an Aussie. Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
You were leading there for a while. What happened?
So there's 6 rounds in the national series. I got a lot of second places to a really amazing Kiwi rider called Kim Hurst.
Yep.
And then for the national champs, one of the professional Australian road riders came back from 3 months in America racing, and she got me by 10 seconds at the end. So we had a bit of a battle out there, but unfortunately.
Does it become physical between? Oh, see, I was about then. Does it become physical between riders out there? Are you allowed? The course probably lends itself to that contact at times.
Not physical in terms of throwing a punch. It's not AFL, but there's definitely
elbows
using your body to pass a rider through a corner.
Okay.
Or you pick your part of the course, so where you want to lead and you want to take control, and
you keep your line.
Yeah, you pick your line.
Yeah.
There's also, I think in cyclocross, people say commit to the rut and pick the line and just go in 100%. So.
Okay, now I'm listening to you talking and you love it and you're passionate, you get excited. Your bio says you're an aggressive rider, a clever rider. How do you describe yourself as a cyclocross rider?
Yeah, I guess I've come to the sport for the technical, crazy bits like the crazy downhills, and I come from track cycling, so sprinting background, so I love to go exactly from the gun and just take it to all the other riders and say, you have to catch me and I'm going to show you how this is done.
Okay, you talked about the Kiwi rider and the Australian rider being tough here.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest rider you've gone against?
I guess the battles here have been really good because they've been so close. I mean, when I've gone over to Belgium 2 years ago, I was racing, and the girls at the front in the World Cups and the World Champs are absolutely the best in the world, but they were a bit ahead of me. I'd like to be a bit closer this year.
Okay, is that what you hope to accomplish in the 5 months in Belgium? To win some, obviously to get some money to help, but more to close the gap and learn a bit more? Yeah,
so it is mostly about learning, but also cyclocross starts are on a gridded start, and you're gridded on your international points. Because we only, at the moment, for the first year we had a race here which was actually for points, but normally in Australia there's been no opportunities to get points except for your national champs. So when you go over there, 2 years ago I started last on the grid at the World Champs, and that means you have to push through 5 or 6 rows of riders, so it makes a big difference on a narrow course.
Where are you going to be this year? Where do you anticipate?
It so depends on how the season goes, but starting on the 7th row and starting on the 3rd row, that's a massive difference when everyone's sprinting down that start line. It means 10 corners up. Rather than passing 30 riders, you only have to pass 20.
Terrific for you to come in.
It's exciting.
Wish you every success. Hope it goes really well. I hope your partner watches and doesn't just go on holiday in Belgium, but that's what I'll be doing. Nat Redman was our special guest. We'll get you back in 5 months' time and find out how you went. Stay with us. Plenty to come on the show.